stuff for our channel, but right.
It's 3, a little less than 4 minutes.
Cool. All right.
Yep. Oh, now we're good. The stream just started, I think. Yeah.
Is audio a word?
Audio's a word, right? Oh, audio issues. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh well.
Utilize.
Okay. No. Whatever. Oh, I think we're going. Okay.
That streams up.
Streams up.
All right, now I'm here. I had it muted. We just want to let people filter in here a little bit. Since I said 3:15 and we was anticipating more audio issues, but it looks like it's working now. You will hear me.
Charmed original. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
It's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah.
Check.
I'll make sure everybody can still hear. There we go. Hey.
Hey, we on? We going?
I think we're on now. We'll make sure that everybody can confirm that we can hear all three of us.
Yep. We're good.
We're good. Everybody says
we did it.
Yes.
We did.
Hey.
It only took 24 hours.
Let's go. Yeah, whole day.
Nice.
Great. Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, I don't know how many of you were here yesterday, but thank you for sticking around. I know that was kind of like we were basically just doing a test stream. We wanted to, invite you guys in and hopefully make it work. But thanks for sticking around for like most of the hour. Some of you. Then you were coming back. We got John and Dylan from All New Nerds again. These guys are doing a great job on their channel, which is really similar to my channel. They got a lot of pop culture stuff, MCU stuff, Star Wars stuff in particular. So go check them out if you haven't been over there yet. All New Nerds on YouTube.com, also on Instagram, right? Do you guys have anything else like Twitter and that kind of stuff?
A very inactive Twitter.
Yeah,
we gotta.
If you want to DM us on there, I guess I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so basically, let's just hop right into it. I don't want to waste any time.
Let's do it.
There's plenty of Easter egg videos out there on YouTube right now, and lots of videos this week. Everybody's been discussing it. We were going to discuss it yesterday, but here we are today. There were definitely some questions that I had written down that were common questions in the comments section that a lot of people ask, but also ones that are just sort of unanswered. So the first one is, who is actually the real big bad of this show? Because we're 6 episodes into 9 episodes, and we keep theorizing that characters like Mephisto or, maybe just this Agent Hayward guy is the main bad guy for now, but who do we think is actually, is Wanda the main bad guy? How is this going to end? Are we going to even have a bad guy, so to speak? What do you got? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Johnny, you want to take this one?
You want me to go first? Okay.
Go for it.
So, listen, there's a bunch of avenues that go down. I think since the whole thing with, throughout the episodes we've gotten, Wanda's actually doing this. This is all Wanda's fault, and Wanda's basically the villain. Obviously, Monica said that as she came out, and it seems like that's what Sword kind of thinks. So I think that's kind of to throw us off. I don't actually think she's the villain, and I mean we get more hints of that she doesn't really know how this started. So it's a little confusing there. Meaning that there is probably someone controlling her or an outside source, especially with bringing in Quicksilver. We don't know if he's actually Quicksilver, but there's a bunch of theories on that. But we'll get to that when we get to it. But Mephisto.
You can talk about it now if you want. Do you think Quicksilver is Mephisto? That seems to be a common thought amongst.
It's a common thing, but I don't know if I'm fully on board with it. Just because I get to mess with Wanda, but why that specific Quicksilver? From that X-Men universe, that doesn't make sense to me. That's the only big thing that just doesn't make sense to me. I like that theory though, and that could be it. I mean, there was the shot at the end of episode 5, there was something. I don't know if it's like real, but in the mirror behind Wanda as she opens the door, you can see like his sleeve, and then right underneath it, it's super blurry, but it's like his sleeve, and then it's red. So a lot of people are saying like, oh, that's like Mephisto's red skin, and so.
What about all the
yeah,
times
maybe-
he mentioned things like he mentioned a lot of things about like hell and the devil and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
There's a lot of
like he
hints,
said,
especially in the newest episode.
give him hell,
Yeah.
boys, that kind of stuff. Like he kept mentioning hell, and it was definitely seemed like he had a thing for just hell in general and the devil. So I mean that connection alone makes it conceivable that it's Mephisto.
Yeah. Personally, I think he does have some connection to Mephisto. I don't know if Mephisto is him or Mephisto is like disguised as him, just because he seems to have his own perception on him and Wanda's childhood, and like all the memories they've had or he's had, and all the memories
like
they don't line up. Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, a part of me just wants it to be like not Mephisto, because I want to see Quicksilver like alive in this universe, you know. And I feel like if he's being controlled by Mephisto, I don't know, it wouldn't really work out.
Yeah.
But
and then also though, there's the connection between Magneto and them, because we do in the Fox X-Men, you get that version of Quicksilver talking about Magneto being his father.
For sure.
So
yeah,
that's just another possible connection to an Ian McKellen appearance, or just X-Men in general. But I mean, Magneto is, I don't know. It's hard to say if it would be the Fassbender Magneto or it would be the Ian McKellen Magneto, because technically which timeline is it? I feel like X-Men was so inconsistent in its timelines that it's it's kind of hard to know what's what from that.
Yeah, right. I think like this is like an idea, and I've heard this a couple times, like because that was the 80s episode, I guess 80s and 90s, that they pulled the Quicksilver from. So I'm thinking he just got pulled from, it would be not Dark Phoenix. What was the one before it?
Was it Apocalypse?
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we had, let's see here. People say episode 1 and 2 are so much better after the recent episode. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, it was a little bit of a slow start, and people were confused what the show was about at first, but now, like, we have so much more context to work with. So I agree. Yeah, episodes 1 and 2, like, you could go back and probably see so many more things you missed originally from that.
Definitely. I read that question wrong, or that thing wrong when I first saw it. I thought they said episode 1 and 2 are so much better than this recent episode.
Okay.
And I was like, that is a wrong take. But no, I agree 100%.
Charmed Original says even Evan Peters has played a number of evil, crazy villains over many seasons of American Horror Story, so he'll 100% bring our big bad to life. Yeah, that's
all right.
Just another reason.
He's great in that show.
For sure, yeah. And also that deals with a lot of other, like the witch stuff and hex stuff. There's a lot of that in American Horror Story too, so... I've noticed that's something they're doing with this show too, is having little, not just like fourth wall breaks. Like they did that for the first time with Tommy and Billy in this episode, where they were talking to the camera. That wasn't just like a stylized Malcolm in the Middle type thing, but it was also like they're starting to do that now. Like the first time we saw it was Deadpool, right? Because Deadpool does a lot of fourth wall breaks.
Yes,
he's a fourth wall break inside of a fourth wall break.
We're gonna see it again maybe in the next episode too. Because in the trailer, she's like it's like an office, the office style, Modern Family style. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yep. 2010
sort of interview.
Stephanie says, "Will Darcy have superpowers?" Yeah, I said in the reaction. That's what was my initial thought. Was she did mention though that Monica had gone through the barrier and come back, so that like the multiple breaking of the barrier was what was like setting off the like molecular change or whatever.
Right.
In her. So maybe Darcy won't get superpowers because of that. Maybe she'll be in the bubble for the rest of the story now. And Wanda's bubble will either, who knows what'll happen, but she may not go through the barrier again. She may just end with the bubble being gone, essentially.
Some ideas on that, and we can talk about it more. But I think this is where they introduce mutants. I think Wanda's expanding this bubble even farther, and maybe not everyone, but...
Wait, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you right now, because this is actually one of the next questions on my list.
Okay.
Which is, how big can the bubble get? How can we do a planetary-sized bubble? Can she hit everyone?
Planetary.
Is Wanda that powerful?
Yes.
Yeah. I think she is, and I mean, I think
baby.
she's getting some of her power from whoever started this hex, or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think just like the emotional state she's in and what she's shown that she can do, I think if she wanted to, she could.
Yeah. And we've 100%.
She could. And I feel like, yeah.
We've also heard through Quicksilver though that like when she was talking to him at the fair or whatever, he was like, "I'm kind of impressed." So like what she's done already to this point is already like amazing in terms of how powerful she is. But when she had to save Vision and expand the bubble to bring him back inside of it, it didn't look like she had to try that hard. She just kind of like went full Scarlet Witch for a second and expanded the bubble. So I don't see anything in her way for getting even more. The crazier she gets, the more she falls apart, the more she can expand the bubble and potentially harm people. So,
Johnny,
stuff.
Yes.
We were talking about this a little while ago, and this kind of supports our theory. But so Mephisto might want Tommy and Billy for something. And if Quicksilver is Mephisto, he said a couple times, it kind of seems like he's trying to coerce the kids a little bit, or he's like trying to spend more time with them, trying to be alone with them. He says he'll take them out trick-or-treating, everything like that. Do you think that supports that?
For sure, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
This episode was even, the newest one was even more kind of confirming that. But going back to the, can Wanda expand the bubble? Yes. I know Dylan's somewhat aware. I don't know if you're aware, but a story called House of M, where Wanda basically changes the entire reality of Earth 616. That's the Marvel Comics universe, or the Earth. And it's pretty crazy. Like, and it has major repercussions for like the entire Marvel Comics just like world. And in it, she rids of mutants for a while, and she says no more mutants. And I think that this show might actually be the reverse.
The opposite.
She's creating all the mutants.
Mutants.
So like, so potentially like she will do like a worldwide bubble, and then like certain people will be affected certain ways by it.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, because we see Monica, like we said, like her blood was different, and we know she's going to get powers because she's going to be in Captain Marvel too. And I mean, her character gets powers in the comics and everything. So I think this would be a really cool way to introduce mutants. I've always really liked the idea of mutants, just like random powers. It's just kind of randomized.
Yeah, what would be the reason for like some people not becoming mutants? Only certain people, why would?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
Is it similar to Magneto's machine that he makes in the original X-Men movie?
Yeah,
where he sends out that bubble. I guess that's a similar concept. That bubble then changes that senator guy into the watery fish man. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I'm picturing it right now.
So Wanda's potentially sending out similar energy, only it'll be more selective and random.
Yeah, maybe people just react different to the bubble, or maybe it's something how much time you spend in there. Because Geraldine did spend a fair amount of time in there. I mean, a couple days, but I don't know.
So I'm missing some of these questions here. So,
go ahead.
Despite WandaVision being a 9-episode miniseries, do you think it should end after episode 9, or should it actually get a season 2? I guess that's yet to be determined because, I mean, everyone's loving it so far. It seems like there's a lot of potential, but depending on how they wrap this season up, that's going to answer where we are in that story. I think, though, the way they have the MCU lined up throughout the year and ongoing into the future, they're probably like in just the way they did in the original MCU. Or in phase 3, 4, they're just gonna go from story to story. Like not like Falcon and Winter Soldier won't necessarily include WandaVision stuff, but we may have certain tie-ins that are the timeline as a whole will start to become more apparent.
Yeah,
as we move forward, because they haven't announced anything new, right?
No,
like a second season. So for now, I think it's probably
the thing is
done.
Like, there's two things. So
there's only so much you can do with it.
Right.
50s,
and there was
60s,
a rumor
70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and then some event which moves you on to the next thing in the story, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of how the MCU operates. It's like this, then this, then this, and it's all one big story. I feel like a season 2 wouldn't really fit like the way they're doing it.
What they do with the show is, so there's two things. There is rumor that there's a 10th episode. It's somewhat credible. Not going to say it's happening, but could happen maybe. Thing about season 2, Kevin Feige has said that like they don't have plans for like a season 2, but they're gonna you can always come back to it. So we're probably, if there is ever a WandaVision season 2, it will not be until a very long time.
Yeah.
But basically, the Doctor Strange is supposed to be technically a kind of a sequel to WandaVision, if you really think about it, because that's going to go right into that movie. So,
is that
that'll be
while we're talking about it? Do you think Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, is the cameo people are waiting for, or do you think it's an outside X-Men character? I mean, I think we kind of might get both even.
I think he'll be one of them.
Yeah.
Are you referring to the Luke Skywalker level?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's come on.
For me, that's impossible. Like, I don't think there's anyone big enough.
The equivalent on obviously a much lower level.
Yeah.
Nothing is that
Dylan and I
sacred.
talked about it, though. There is, like, one that I think I would be pretty crazy about and could maybe work. If this has, like, super big multiverse stuff, I mean, obviously I'm going to guess that because of the Doctor Strange connection. And also, we know Spider-Man 3 is going to deal with the multiverse pretty heavily. And going back to, like, the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield rumors, I think one that would really get me would be if we saw Tobey Maguire, but it's very unlikely. Like, maybe that's, like, one of the first signs of the multiverse opening is him. So, I don't know. But that was an idea.
I had actually had this crazy thought. Did you guys see Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved that.
It was
movie.
awesome.
Absolutely loved it.
Awesome movie.
Such a beautiful,
And like the different Spider-Mans that they bring into that, like with like, you know, the I don't remember the different names, but like there's the pig one.
Spider-Ham,
Yeah, exactly.
Spider-Man Noir.
Wouldn't it be
Spider-Man.
crazy if at some point they do like an animation and live action blend where they bring a cartoon character into a live action movie?
Dylan said that, yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Miles. But I would picture he'd come in.
Yes, Miles, perfect.
Right.
I thought about that and forgot about it just until right now.
Miles
that
might be in
character in.
Spider-Man 3. He might.
Because I know we're getting a Spider-Verse 2, so I mean they'd have to make it work, like with how those like timelines and stuff. I guess you don't really got to worry about timelines when you're going like that crazy. But yeah.
Stephanie says, does anybody have a clue about who the scientist is that Monica's waiting for? Yeah, that's one of the questions I wrote down. You know, we're all kind of hoping that it's Reed Richards because that'll blow up even more doors. But then it's like, is it the Miles Teller, Reed Richards that only got that one and done movie, which I didn't hate, by the way. Did you see that one? The newer Fantastic Four?
Stick.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. It was fun. But I mean, you know, the original is Young Gruffudd, and he's not too old.
We have a whole video on the Fantastic Four.
And then you can go into crazy meta stuff like getting Chris Evans to come in and be Human Torch and Captain America simultaneously. You could do that. You can have him play both roles.
In Doctor Strange. That could happen in Doctor Strange. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing with the multiverse. It's so crazy that you can do anything.
If you think about how much they blew our minds with like Infinity War and Endgame, they have to like, what's the next level up from that? They have to start doing crazy
I know. Like, do you think
meta things like that?
Yeah. Do you think the MCU will ever hit like an Endgame level of hype, or like just, I don't know, the release Endgame, like everything was just like it was insane. It was literally insane. Like worldwide,
maybe
just
6,
insane.
7, 8 years from now. But that's great.
Do you think we'll ever hit that again? That's my question. I mean, I love what the MCU is doing now, but I don't know.
I don't think it won't necessarily be in a going to the movie theaters kind of thing. That might have been sort of the, unfortunately. You know, I don't know the way the movie theater is going to last much longer. But in terms of streaming, I mean, it's so much easier now, and we're already getting the content. We're making YouTube channels and reacting to this content already. It's already the new way that we're doing things. Yeah, seeing a lot of questions about where did Dottie go. I agree. We only had she was in those first 2 black and white episodes, and then and which is also another thing because Agnes has mentioned her husband Ralph a million times, and we've never met him. So Ralph might also be the Mephisto mystery character.
Yeah, he's going to be a big reveal, I feel.
Ralph might be is he the big bad? Who knows?
Yeah.
Somebody had pointed out to me that Mephisto's one of his powers is shapeshifting, particularly into animals and things. And she had she had a rabbit in that episode in the beginning, a white rabbit.
And the stork in episode
Alice in Wonderland
4.
connection going down the rabbit hole is definitely has connections to this. So yeah, Dottie could be Mephisto, Ralph could be Mephisto, Quicksilver could be Mephisto. Anybody could be Mephisto. Who do you guys want to play Mephisto? We talked about this a little bit yesterday. I think my top choices were Willem Dafoe and Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Great job on Mandalorian. It would be fantastic to get as playing villain.
He can hop in anything and just make like the most compelling villain. I think. I mean, Breaking Bad. Mandalorian. I mean, I don't know if he was a villain in The Boys, but he was definitely a strong character.
Yeah.
So that could
What
be
if we
pretty
see
cool.
Logan though? Hugh Jackman says username unknown. Yeah, no, that obviously if Hugh Jackman shows up, people are going to lose their, you know what?
That's true.
They approached him a couple times about stuff, so I don't know exactly the details of that.
I'm pretty sure they'll have an all new Wolverine, particularly with
I believe most will be recasted.
Which is, I mean, we don't know who they've done for that yet, but the original, you know how they kind of like in this episode in particular, they've given us like they teased us a little bit with Wanda's and Vision's outfit being like spot on to the original characters in the comics, you know, in their little tights and everything. Yeah, and they looked great, I thought. You know,
Wanda's gonna have she's supposed to actually get the title of Scarlet Witch by the end of the show, and hopefully a costume including the little crown. So,
cool.
But
is Scarlet Witch going to be a villain at that
cool.
point? Does this show end with Wanda being an antagonist?
That's what I'm kind of hoping. Like, not so much an anti-hero, but a misunderstood villain. And I think it's going to end pretty dark. I don't think Vision's coming out of this alive. And I think Wanda's just going to kind of run off and maybe with Mephisto or maybe just like go doing her own thing. But
this was already like a free encore for Vision. So like he's not going to make it. I think we've already, although, I mean, when we saw him leave the bubble in this episode, it was the bubble itself that was making him disintegrate and pulling him back in. It didn't look like he was just falling apart. So it did seem as though it was possible for him to exist. And we know that Billy and Tommy go on to exist.
Yeah, like they have to. That's
so
the
there
only
has to
thing
be
I'm
some
kind of trying to wrap my head around.
Right.
Possible,
I mean, going back to Infinity War, we know that Vision can survive without the Mind Stone. So and
but we also know that
thing, so.
Vision is Vision's corpse, you know, like he's just being like animated by Wanda. So I don't know. It's really, we're just gonna have to see what happens. Like we can theorize all day, but like we're really just.
Well, that's the fun of it.
I don't think anyone. Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, like.
Let's see what else did I write down here. Oh yeah, the last question I had was, "Will this end badly?" Well, I mean, we'll see. I don't know.
I kind of hope so.
I mean, when I saw Infinity War, I was pretty shocked at how like definitively like, wow, the bad guy won.
Yeah.
Like you don't really ever get that, and Thanos was one of my favorite characters ever because in some strange way in Infinity War, like I couldn't figure out why. It's like, but like I agree with Thanos. Like he doesn't seem like all that bad of a guy. He's not. He's just misunderstood.
But
that's what makes him awesome.
But he was the bad guy, and he definitely won at the end of that movie. So because this is the very first essentially chapter in this Phase 4 stuff, I definitely think this is a perfect time to end it badly because you have so much story moving forward to then pick up where you left off with.
Right.
Yeah.
Although if WandaVision itself is a one and done, one season type thing, it would be a bummer to be.
This story is going to.
Oh, it's bad. I don't think it'll be bad. I think it's more just sort of like an origin story of the next phase of Scarlet Witch.
For sure.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is definitely a one, and the story will wrap up, and this will be like a definitive story, and then
but it's gonna
with
set
obviously
up for...
continuing into Doctor Strange, but. I think if there was a season 2, it'd have to be a whole new story. But yeah.
All right. So a couple more questions here. The one that I saw a bunch of in my comment section, like repeated a bunch of times, was people thinking that Agnes was faking when Vision went to her car and she was there and took a wrong turn, as she said. And he was like, in the town you grew up in. He did touch her head, and there was that little energy thing like that happened with Norm. But a lot of people seem to think that there's no way that she was not faking.
Yeah.
Because she was fully aware of Wanda's stuff in the last episode when she was like, "Hey, director or whatever, you want me to take that from the top or whatever?"
Take from the top, yeah.
Right.
So she was just playing her role. She wasn't necessarily affected by the magic. It's hard to know.
Well, you also gotta like. That's true, but also like Herb had kind of a similar thing happen in the episode before that when he almost tells Vision like what's going on. You know, like he says like we're not.
He's cutting down the. Brick fence there,
and it kind of seemed like he had some like actual thought there too, you know. So it's very confusing.
So there's another comment. Yep, that was fake. So definitely certain people thought that she was. There's obviously more to that, and it's surprising that we only have 3 episodes left, which makes me think: is it just going to keep ramping up to the end? Is the intensity just going to keep? Or are we going to get one more sort of lull before the final 2 episodes? things.
Episode 7 is supposed to be. We're really gonna get a pretty good understanding of what's going on. Paul Bettany teased that way back, even when the first batch of interviews are coming out for the show's premiere. He said, "You really understand things when episode 7 comes out." So, I think, we're a week away, or a little less than a week away. But it's. I think. We'll know some stuff. We'll understand it. I think.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing, earlier in the season when they were having the little Stepford Wives meeting, Dottie was, leading all those women, and they were chanting for the children. But then multiple times, even when Vision was like, "Where are the children? There are no children. We didn't see any children until this episode. All of a sudden, there's children." So the question was, did Wanda make an adjustment? Now there are children because Vision had, noticed that there weren't any. Or if they, we've determined that the people that she's sort of held hostage in this town are real people. So are these real children? Where were they when they weren't visible? Were they literally just, because we did see that woman hanging Halloween decorations and she was doing the same thing over and over again. People frozen on the edge of town, not doing anything. So is it possible that children were literally just like locked in their rooms, doing nothing? Which is like a horrifying thought, that she's like, not just like held this entire town hostage, but she's basically like kidnapped a bunch of children.
It's like a video game. It's like a simulate. Yeah, it's a weird simulation.
Remember, she tells Quicksilver, like, I've kept all the families together. At least I've done that, Like she was like, I left the mothers and fathers with their kids. So yeah, where were all those kids all? I guess just like
that'll definitely be explained. I feel like we'll definitely understand that. Yeah, because that was a question even back a few episodes. So I think I started to think, like, with the whole Billy and Tommy and like the Demon Souls thing and like Mephisto. I mean, maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. Actually, that's one I probably don't even have an answer for. I don't know. Yeah. That's one of the things I don't have any theories on, I guess.
We know that she has no control over them.
Right.
Her powers
over her children.
Yeah, over her own children. Yep. And I don't know if she has power over Quicksilver either.
She used her like hex magic and pushed him away.
Oh, she did. Like,
so
That's true.
Yeah,
I feel like he was
control over him though.
Right, because I feel like he was doing some stuff in this episode that she didn't necessarily approve of. That was going against her vision, her Wandavision, and that could have that she could have easily stopped with her magic. So I don't know. Take that as you will.
I mean, did you notice that like when Vision was outside the bubble and falling apart, like Wanda didn't notice that. Billy noticed that. He was the one that had to sense Vision and then go tell his mom. So I think that's more significant than it is on the surface, because that implies that he can think outside the box, literally, and he can. One day in the MCU, he's going to be as powerful or more powerful than her.
Than Wanda,
because he has her powers plus some. Like he can.
And I mean, I think they're going to grow more too.
Yeah,
in the
they'll
bubble,
probably be like
young adults, probably.
Yeah.
And when Tommy ran up and Billy just stopped him dead in his tracks, and Tommy was like, "Whoa, Billy!" Like, I think Billy's going to end up being like OP.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to be the next Wanda.
Yeah. Do you think that
Young Avengers?
All right, I'm going back to the Mephisto trying to get her children. Do you think like Quicksilver taking them around was trying to get them to like unlock those powers? And then like once they did, it was like, okay, well, there's I don't know, whatever his overarching
I don't think he knew ahead of time,
is.
because when Tommy started going really fast for the first time, he was like, "Whoa, you have super speed, bro!" Like,
okay, so you think that kind of caught him by surprise?
Yeah, I thought so, but it's hard to tell if he's genuine at all at this point, right? Because we're questioning his sincerity to begin with.
Exactly.
Right.
Because like you mentioned, he had his own flashbacks where Wanda was like, "That's not how I remember it."
Right.
So he has his own, and then they sat down and had like sort of a heart-to-heart chat, and she opened up to him a little bit because he was letting her know that he knew what she was doing, and it seemed genuine and sincere, but it also is, it's hard to tell, I think.
Yeah, I had one weird question about that little flashback to like when they were kids, like on Halloween. Were they dressed as Black Widow and Nick Fury?
Wait,
that
there
the
were
whole
two
thing?
kids dressed.
No, because they
Like their flashback.
Yeah, their flashback.
Oh no, that wasn't. That was just like some Sokovian like. I didn't even.
I was
notice.
confused by that because I saw like a picture on Instagram saying like, isn't one of the dresses?
I was only noticing the gag
because Wanda had like the like orange hair and then like the little like blonde tip, and then Pietro had the eye patch.
And like the black outfit.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
So that kind of throws me off even more. I'm like,
could just be like a little Easter egg.
I'm
out of place though. I don't know, but yeah.
I'm thinking of another thing right now. So when Quicksilver is talking about how he got into the bubble, he mentions that he was shot, right? And then he just ended up here. And he also appears to Wanda as a corpse. Obviously, it's him. Yeah. So it's like, yes, he has these different flashbacks and different memories, but also it kind of seems like he's also connected to the MCU, Pietro, because we know that the Quicksilver in the X-Men universe wasn't shot, or as far as we know, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. They're really throwing us some curveballs.
They're mixing the origins.
Wanda.
It's weird.
He's questioning her a lot, and she also threw out like a test where she was like, "Hey, you remember that kid that did that thing?" And she was trying to get him to like make up some story and be like, "Oh yeah," but he didn't. Like either he didn't fall for her trick or he is like, "What are you talking about?" You know, it's still hard to tell.
Yeah, and didn't Wanda ask like, she asked like, "Why do you look different?" And
yeah.
Was like, "Why do you look different?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, "What happened to your accent?" And he was like,
"Yeah,
"What happened to yours?"
The accent, that was it.
Yeah. Well, no, but she also did say like, "You look different."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's explained it to Vision when Vision questioned her, and she's now explained it to Pietro when he questioned her about the origin of all of it, and it's been the same, like, I don't know how this started. She just remembers like the grief and the pain and the emptiness and all that, and then
it all comes back to that.
Next thing she knows, yeah. So the origin, we still don't know whether it's Wanda that originated everything or if she's being put in this situation by higher forces, nefarious forces.
Well, I've had a theory that we talked about on our last podcast, and I'll share it here too. But so the show makes sure to mention that Scarlet Witch is one of, probably next to Carol Danvers, the most powerful Avenger that they have, and could have defeated Thanos if she wasn't distracted or whatever.
The Rainfire.
Yeah. So this could be a way Mephisto's trying to just distract her and keep her satisfied in the bubble so she doesn't interfere with what he's about to do to the universe, to the earth or whatever, because he knows I can't beat her in combat. Like, she'll kill me. But if I get into her head, if I play with her emotions, keep her in this hex, then what can she do? You know, just keep her satisfied.
To his advantage. You turn her into a tool for his own motives.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
Which is funny because that's technically like the Hayward Vision thing that is going on the side too. Does Hayward want Vision as a sentient weapon? Does he want to get his body, and is that his main motive? Because he's obviously displayed like hatred for superpowered people in general. In this last episode, it was obvious that he was, he was chastising Monica for having, closeness with superheroes in general.
Yeah. He's still kind of mysterious. What do we think of his character?
Is he a Skrull?
That's
another thing we haven't talked about. Are we gonna get a Skrull in this show? Because we know Skrulls.
I mean, it'd be out of place, but I don't see why not. Right. I mean, like, we know Secret Invasion's coming, and that's gonna be really big. But I mean, I just feel like it's a little out of place for this show. But I think if Hayward stays in the MCU, obviously I think Sword's still gonna have a role throughout the remainder of Phase 4. But into 5. But if so, I mean, I think he is definitely a contender to be a Skrull for sure. Yeah.
That's anyone could be a Skrull. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you never know who's a Skrull,
anybody.
who's not.
Yeah.
Stephanie says, "Who wants to see Monica knock the crap out of Hayward?" Yeah, I
Oh
know.
yeah, I want to see her use new powers.
When he said that line about her mom, I was like, "Oh, this guy has to
do it." Yeah. No, yeah, I want to see her like. I hope that's how she figures out she has powers. She just gets so mad at Hayward and then just like blasts him.
She's gonna have like a burst or something. Yeah, for sure.
What are Monica's like powers in the comic books?
Well, I don't know if you're. Oh yeah, I think she has.
I think it's like
is she
projection.
Photon or Spectrum. I've seen her called both.
Both. Yeah, it's both. It's either
Spectrum or Photon.
different aliases.
So she had mentioned like when she got knocked back through the bubble for the second time, there was this little scene that some people missed, which is like her X-rays were blank and her blood worked. Like they were like, we need to do it again.
Yep.
So it was like, oh, she's obviously acquired some kind of. And then Darcy was explaining, look, your DNA is changing or whatever.
Yeah.
So she may just be one of the first mutants, like you said. This bubble could be it's turning people into mutants. We're finally being introduced to mutants. Is that a form of mutation?
I hope so.
What
I hope
it's done to her.
mutants,
It's given her, and then
right.
I theorized that you can't go through the bubble again without Wanda's permission, unless she like expands the bubble onto you. But does Monica now, because of her superpowers, have the ability to go into the bubble? Is that her superpower? Like kind of like she's like an anti-Wanda in a way, or
yeah, I'm looking at her powers right now. So she has like stuff like energy absorption, energy blast, like flight, super speed, stuff like that. And then there's this one that appearance alterations. She can she has her powers kind of consist of light, and I think that's kind of
photon.
Because her even her readings, like it looked like it was almost exposed light. It was weird, like that picture they showed of her. Of her results, even though they were blank, but it kind of looked like it was just like an overexposed kind of, I don't know, kind of gave me vibes of that. So, it says she can take the form of other people with that, which I kind of think is interesting. I don't know if that's going to be what we see in the show, but
she's mentioned multiple times her aerospace engineer friend, and we were saying earlier, we're hoping that it's Reed Richards, but who else could it be? It could be like maybe Hank McCoy.
That would be amazing,
that's
but
another option.
I love Beast. But
who
I
else?
don't know.
Who else is like a genius character?
I've seen Iron Lad. I know.
Yeah, that'd be cool, but I doubt
if they're doing Young Avengers, and it kind of seems like they're getting to it with Billy and Tommy, and the rumors of like that young Hulk guy or whatever, I forget his name. Johnny knows it. Hulkling, yeah. I think Iron Lad could be kind of cool as like a introduction.
So there's one that I think is honestly most likely, but we haven't met her yet. Her name is Abigail Brand. She in the comics, she's a commander of Sword. And
that
she's someone Darcy. That's been thrown around.
Darcy might be like they might sort of bring that character in, right? Because isn't she sort of the
I don't see any connection
similar to Monica,
them.
like she might become superpowered.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing with Darcy
could get superpowers. Now we don't know.
It was interesting. Like there is definitely going to be something there since we didn't see what she looked like when she got into the bubble. You know what I mean? Like
Monica becomes a Skrull.
It was weird.
What?
what?
Turns into a Skrull.
Monica becomes a Skrull. Could you imagine if Monica was a Skrull this entire? I mean, that'd be like a little weird, just because like the whole Captain Marvel movie and like I don't think so.
Yeah,
but
Monica Rambeau has like in a weird way become like an alternate protagonist of this show, even though it's still about Wanda and Vision.
Yeah,
right.
This has obviously become like a Monica Rambeau origin story.
Mm-hmm.
This will be, because she's gonna be an ongoing character.
Right. Yeah, she'll be.
We might even see her in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We'll see her in other things moving forward because the new Avengers, right? She'll probably be one of the members of the whatever.
I'd imagine. Yes. Kevin Feige has a lot of. Yeah.
I mean, the eventual big bad of all of this at the end is either Doctor Doom or Galactus. I think those are the two remaining characters in Marvel that are like even higher than Thanos in the bad guy.
So we know Kang the Conqueror, he's gonna be in Ant-Man. Oh, 4. There's 4 movies. I just forgot. Quantumania. Right now, right? Yeah, am I right about that, or is there 3?
But there's been 3 Ant-Man.
There's 3 Ant-Man movies. So no, this will be the third one that's coming out.
Is there another one coming out?
This will be the third.
Ant-Man the Wasp, Quantumania, I believe it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's gonna be the villain of that. He's like this very big Avengers level villain, like big threat. All about time travel. I doubt that he'll be like the big bad of whatever the next saga is in the MCU, just because like we kind of already did time travel in Endgame a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe they could go more in depth in it because he's like from the future and he comes back to the past and just mess with stuff. And
although
I would love Doctor Doom though. I would really love Doctor Doom.
Yeah,
I want to see so badly.
I was saying to my sister how like Doctor Doom is like when I was a kid. I collected Marvel cards in like the early '90s when I was a kid. Yeah, and Doctor Doom was like that's who we all thought was like the main bad guy of the Marvel universe.
Yes.
He's cool, man.
And because a lot of his powers and the things that he deals with a lot of like magic and sorcery and hell and things that
science stuff and like tech stuff. Yeah. He's like a mix. Yeah, he's great.
That's actually what's funny is that he's technically supposed to be like insane level genius too. So like he could be Monica's guy for all
that could be cool. Yeah.
That would be crazy.
She'd be like, hey, this is Victor Von Doom. You know, that come on, dude. What?
Yeah,
I would love to see that kind of thing.
I don't know who it could be.
Charmed Original says Ben Grimm. I like that too because that could introduce the Thing.
That could work. Yeah.
I like the Adam Brashear too. I think that would be cool. And then he gets maybe sucked in and then becomes Blue Marvel, right?
Who's Adam Brashear? Why am I forgetting?
He's Blue Marvel. I don't know much about him, but I know he's Blue Marvel.
I don't really know too much about it. I know who Blue Marvel is, but his title has been like he's like a scientist kind of engineer person, so it could make sense for him to be that character. And I think there was a rumor long time ago. I don't even think even before like Endgame came out that Kevin Feige wanted to do Blue Marvel eventually. So maybe that's him, but I'm not sure. So, but he's a pretty cool character from what I know. Yeah, he's dope. But that is a possibility too. Yeah, I'm gonna throw out the Reed Richards because Reed Richards is gonna be such a big character. Just because we know the Fantastic Four movie is coming, or we got announcement that it's happening. I don't think they're gonna do Fantastic Four stuff yet. I think it's coming very, very soon, but not in this.
Yeah. We've gotten hints,
especially big character like Reed Richards. Or
because I had mentioned if it's not Doctor Doom, one character we haven't gotten yet in this version of the universe is Galactus. And that stuff deals with Silver Surfer and
we have to see
Dr.
Silver
Doom
Surfer
and Silver
first.
Surfer are like arch enemies, and so it's
I want to see him eating planets, man.
I can't wait. I can't wait till like.
Can you get worse than Galactus? Is there any villain bigger than that? He
Yeah.
literally eats planets.
Yeah, I can't wait till like there's like an end credit scene and like of whatever movie it is, probably a bigger movie, but Silver Surfer comes at the end and he's like, because he's like the he's Galactus' like the Herald of Galactus, so he comes down to planets and say, "You're basically gonna get eaten, so you have this amount of time." And
I was such a big
can't
Silver
wait for
Surfer.
that. That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, me too. Love Silver Surfer.
I'm gonna get
when I was a
chills.
kid, I had like he was on some cartoon that I had on like VHS.
Yeah,
and I would just keep watching.
He had his own show.
Yeah, Silver Surfer is awesome. Underrated.
It's great.
Silver Surfer is technically supposed to be like Galactus' slave, and he like does Galactus' bidding, but he's technically also like virtually immortal. Like you can't defeat him.
Yeah.
So like
he's
even Silver Surfer can beat Galactus. Right?
He's kind of goofy. Like
he's kind of goofy.
He has like a surfing that
he's
just,
so
like,
cool though, dude. He's so. Cool. I can't wait till we see like
who played him in the Fox one? Was it Doug Jones, the guy that does like Ichthosapiens and stuff? Was it Doug Jones? No,
sure.
Was it?
Let me look it up. I'm not sure.
Who played Silver Surfer?
But I kind of like the Silver Surfer. I know the movie's not that great, but I did like the Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four, the old one.
Do you guys think we'll see Ghost Rider ever in the MCU?
Yes.
Hey, yeah, I don't.
We already did, but yes.
We saw Howard the Duck in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, right?
Come on,
There's an actual
was in the first
duck.
one too.
That's true.
No,
was he? No, I think he was just in that like harem on the Ravager planet with Yondu.
There's an end credit
scene
scene
for like
with
half
him.
a second in a bar, and he says some smarmy line. And then that's it. But they brought in Howard the Duck. Yeah, they'll bring in Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
they'll bring in. Yeah, and like you had mentioned yesterday when we were offline, that Willem Dafoe is going to come back.
Doug Jones.
Oh, it is Doug Jones. Okay, yeah, I was right. Yeah, he always plays the characters that require like prosthetics.
All the prosthetics, and
and
he's great. He's great. Yeah.
Stephanie says one theory is everyone's dead. How would an entire town die? I don't think everyone's dead. I don't know. I don't think she would go that far as to kill everyone, then make them.
Well,
like,
is she saying like is Wanda reanimating the corpses? Like
the corpses.
Everybody
I think that's
in the
what she's trying to
town
get
is
at.
like reanimated corpses.
Well, yeah, because she then followed. Did Wanda kill and reanimate them? We know that's going on with Vision, obviously, but I don't think that's everyone.
Believe so just because like,
because she does feel some.
They've
guilt
all been
for this
identified, or most people, whoever's been on the show, we know Sword's been identifying them. And there's no like, I guess, like. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Agnes
is the only one. So that's why
she was like, "Am I dead?" Remember that part?
Yeah.
Because you are, she said, Division. So
yeah. And she was dressed as a witch, literally in this episode for Halloween. So
perfect.
I'm gonna say Agatha Harkness is her real name, and we'll probably get that next week.
Yeah,
Yes,
that'd be cool.
whatever.
Yes.
Friday. Yeah.
Remember, they couldn't identify her. She was the one
Right.
person they
Yeah,
didn't
the
have.
one person.
She didn't have a
The one
driver's
person.
license. Yeah.
Yep.
Or whatever it was.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So does that mean she's? Yeah. Is she from another dimension? Is she another?
Yeah.
Just an
She
unknown
could be, but she
factor?
clearly
I
knows
think
about
she's
the Avengers.
immortal. I think she's immortal, and she's just been alive for so long that there
Really?
aren't even records. I think because she's a
Oh.
witch, and she.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She
They're
stretches
supposed
all the
to
way
be
back
like-
to Salem witch trials. Stuff.
Yes, that's right. They're like hundreds
Yeah.
of years old.
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
So I think that's what it's gonna actually be. So, which is gonna be great. I'm very excited for that.
Interesting. Yeah.
She voiced someone, didn't she? It's something else in the MCU.
The actress,
Yeah.
Catherine Hahn. I don't know.
No.
Actually, I don't believe so.
I'm gonna do some quick Google search. Y'all talk.
Okay. Yeah, I think she's definitely gonna be one of the villains. There was this thing. She had a necklace on. I don't know if she had it on the newest episode. I mean, we didn't really see too much of her, but in her necklace, like this little album, there's 3 people in it, and one of them has a scythe. So
Oh,
it
Grim
could be like the
Reaper.
Grim Reaper, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Grim Reaper,
Yes.
and we saw the helmet, Grim Reaper's helmet in that animation for episode 2. I think the intro for episode, I think it was 2, which he's still a possibility. I think.
Yeah.
And
We're talking
Wonder
about
Man
Mephisto,
too.
Doctor Doom, going to hell, Grim
Yes.
Reaper, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Wonder Man as well. He is Vision's brother in the comics, and
Punisher. We gotta get Punisher too. There's so many characters.
Okay.
Man.
Do you
It's
have
already-
you seen the Netflix show?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
loved it.
love.
I-
Why can't I think of the actor's name?
Yeah.
Why am I blanking?
The guy from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
John
I-
Bernthal. John Bernthal,
Yes,
right?
he's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
amazing. I
Yeah.
love him. Oh my God,
great.
he's great. Yeah. Well, did you
I
find out, Dylan?
I
Yeah.
found what I was looking for. I'm
Okay.
gonna blow your mind.
Okay.
She played Doc Ock in Into the Spider.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
That was great.
I
That
thought
was
you
a
meant an
really great
MCU
character.
thing. Yeah.
imagine
that's right.
imagine that's the connection somehow.
So there's her.
Doc
She's
Ock.
played a couple of characters. Michael B. Jordan has played Human Torch and
Killmonger.
Black Killmonger.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
Chris Evans has been.
He's
Human
coming back
Torch.
too, which is gonna be
Okay,
great
then.
for Black Panther 2 apparently.
What does
So-
the Human
He
Torch
is.
say?
Wait, I thought
Yeah.
he died. I thought Killmonger was dead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be the first time someone came back to life. Yeah.
Yeah, so
There was Eric said, speaking of Agnes, do you guys think she was faking a reaction? Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the stream. You could probably go step back and find that. We definitely talked about that.
Answer was maybe.
Do you think the Yo Magic commercial is showing that some of the people under Wanda's control might be dying? Yes. Somewhere.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. Because it's like
Or
only
the-
the strongest.
that one was a
Like,
metaphor. That one was not like a
Yeah.
reference to anything. It was like, yeah.
Yeah. The kid couldn't open the yogurt and
You couldn't
time
fight
has
it.
passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he died. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
gonna
that commercial
be-
was pretty messed up.
I think
Yeah.
we're gonna see some like genuinely. I mean, we already did kind of see like Vision's corpse and stuff, and like Pietro like getting with the bullets and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we're like gonna dive into a little bit of like horror territory by the end
Yes,
of the show.
yeah,
it's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be
kind of creepy.
Got a
It'll
little
be
bit of
weird.
it here and there, like when
Spooks.
Billy and Tommy first showed up and they were like 4 years old and they were like, "Hello." It was very
Yeah.
much like The Shining, just like
Yes.
twins out of nowhere. It was.
Yes.
We noticed how much of sort of a horror feeling we got
For
at that
sure.
moment. Yeah. Oh, but the fact that we're in episode 6 of 9 makes me like, oof, things could get really scary from here for sure.
So
Thank
the
you,
thing
Charmed
with-
Original. Yep, that's the Phase 4 lineup. You got it, man.
The
Lot-
thing
lot of
with
stuff.
with Vision's corpse is clearly Wanda went to get his corpse with some kind of intent. I feel like she wouldn't have just done that without like going to, get his corpse. Like she just went and grabbed his corpse. Do you think she knew that if she could get his corpse, she could bring him back to life? Bring him back to life. I say with quotations. And like, do you think Mephisto is like, hey, listen, if you can get his corpse, I can bring him back from the dead. And like y'all can just live your life.
Remember my little pitch, my little scene pitch, Dylan.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
So we were talking about this on our podcast. We started talking about what we're talking about right now, and I was thinking like it looks like Wanda might have breached into Sword pretty much right after the Tony's funeral.
She's wearing the same outfit, right?
Same outfit. So it looks like that's maybe a possibility. So I was thinking like after that, maybe we can get a flashback and like after that scene where Wanda's talking to Hawkeye when they're on the lake. Hawkeye walks away, or Clint walks away, and then she's like hears a voice, and then whoever Mephisto's gonna be appears in front of her like in the middle of the lake, and then like walks to her, and they make the deal right there, and he says basically you have to go get Vision's body, and I'll do the rest.
And originally, Endgame, we were supposed to find out where his corpse ended up. I think Paul Bettany said something like that. Like there was an original
scene.
Yeah.
That security footage that we saw in that episode might have actually been that scene.
Maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
And then they just used it for this. They cut it out. They knew that this was coming up. Probably. Yeah.
That's possible. Yeah, I think she basically this could be a thing that she basically made a deal with the devil at Tony's funeral, and then now we're here. So obviously we know that this takes place before Far From Home too. So that's something to note as well.
People have pointed that out, that the
stuff.
Multiverse already exists at that point.
Right.
And it's already, so whatever Wanda does that breaks that open, if that's what happens, comes before it on the timeline.
Right. Clearly it's not so, well, yeah, that's kind of where well then I guess it's not like everyone becomes a mutant. That just kind of shatters that, because in Far From Home, not everyone's a mutant, you know? Unless they just don't know it yet, unless it takes some time for their powers to, because it's not too long.
Yeah, it's not too
Far
long.
From Home,
No,
right?
I can't remember I don't
in
know
fact,
if there's an exact,
isn't there theories it could be almost coinciding?
Yeah, I think maybe the end is gonna probably be right when Peter leaves. I said Tom.
But I guess she can't really go worldwide with the bubble then, Or it can't be something so like this would like be on the news and stuff like during Far From, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it's that big, yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
I want mutants, man.
I do too.
Mutants. I want the X-Men.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually,
done right. I want the X-Men done right.
Yeah,
I agree. And we also know Deadpool's coming up too, so that's
Deadpool 3.
Oh man,
in the MCU.
We were talking about how they're going to recast Wolverine, and it wouldn't be great if Hugh Jackman did show up again at some point.
Yes.
But to get Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds in the same scene,
that was the plan for Deadpool 3 with Fox, was
because he makes fun of him at the end by putting the Wolverine mask on or whatever, and they had the whole in the Deadpool 1 where they were making fun of how low their budget was. They're like, "Why are you guys the only people we see at this school?" Like, why is it? Oh, because we couldn't pay the other actors, basically. But yeah, we already saw Colossus and. What was it? Negasonic Teenage Warhead or whatever. But I think it isn't House of M, isn't Charles Xavier kind of the one because of his mind powers in controlling. He's like the only person that can like help bring Wanda down from her madness.
And Strange.
And Doctor Strange, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why people were theorizing Patrick Stewart was going to be the crazy cameo, because Xavier plays an important role.
I think Magneto's more likely just because the father tie-in, because we never actually have seen Wanda's parents, but yet again, I don't know. But one thing I'm going to jump in, just Eric says Far From Home takes place 8 months after Endgame, and WandaVision is around a month after Endgame. So thank you for that. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe things have settled.
Yeah.
Between the 7 months and
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's going to be major repercussions by the end of the show. And then that obviously...
Yeah, I hope, or at least for the future MCU stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Or
for sure.
I don't know. I just like the mutants. They're created because Stan Lee was tired of giving heroes backstories and reasons for why they're heroes.
Is that why?
So it's just like I've seen that flown around. Maybe it's not fact, but I don't know. I just think it would be cool to have a bunch of super people just for the sake of being super. You know, like they don't really need like crazy backstories, and we can get some really dope people.
I mean, obviously we haven't gotten any real news on like X-Men stuff. I mean, obviously I guess the biggest thing is having Evan Peters in this now. But we did get Fantastic Four obviously revealed to us that that's in development, and I assume X-Men's not too far behind that. So I don't know. Maybe they'll. I feel like that's going to be an announcement that we'll probably get in the next 1 or 2 years. But yeah. I don't know.
Hustle Mandalorian's bringing up an interesting point. He or she says, I hope Evan Peters is the X-Men Quicksilver. The way he's questioning Wanda, trying to get info, made me think that the Hex is messing with the multiverse and he might be sent there by Professor X. Yeah, I kind of like the theory that he originally went through on his own, like, I can tell that this is my sister somehow and I have to help her. Or just Quicksilver's he's a good guy. He would want to help someone like that.
Yeah.
And maybe it took a wrong turn somewhere.
So we know that this was a breach. Pietro was a breach because as the door opened, and obviously from last episode, we cut to Sword real quick, and there was an alarm going off, and that means that there was a breach in the barrier. So it's an outside source. It's not within the thing. So it wasn't a manifestation inside the bubble. So yeah. it's confusing, but that could be a possibility with I'm very conflicted. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the show throws a lot at us. Probably likely trying to throw
Do you think
us
Tommy and Billy are going to age up one more time?
Yes.
Because they've already done it twice, or like I think they went from babies to 4 and then like 4 to 10. Right.
Yep. So they'll probably be like.
Are they going to do one more final age up to teenagers?
Yeah.
Basically? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Remember they aged up. They almost aged up when the dog died because it was kind of like a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. They can control their age.
Something big is going to happen.
Did Agnes kill the dog to try and make them
for sure? No doubt.
You think so?
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is that like they're trying to ripen them faster, basically?
For sure.
They need to harvest their souls at a certain age. Like,
yes.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
That's why I don't think it's necessarily Mephisto wants Wanda as an ally or as distract. I think he's using Wanda so he can use their spawn and have like super powerful children like that.
That'd be cool.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Does the dog have any relevance? Because I watched this show with my dad. And he goes, "Don't tell me the dog's super too." And I was like, I said no, and then I was like, I had to think.
Super dead.
So it's the dog's name is Sparky. He was in the Tom King Vision comic, which was a pretty, I forget the exact year it came out, but yeah, he was like a Vision dog. It was kind of funny, but besides that, no. That was basically. I think he was new to that.
Hustle Mandalorian. I can't wait for the MCU versions of the X-Men. I need some better versions of Rogue and Gambit. Yeah, I mean,
yes.
Gambit. Yeah, that's the character we didn't get any of almost.
Channing Tatum was gonna have his own movie as Gambit.
Tyler Kish played Gambit, right?
Yes, and then Channing Tatum was gonna play him too in his in a solo movie.
Yeah, and then they ended up nixing that.
Back and forth, like, oh, it's coming out. Oh no, it's not coming out.
Rogue is another one of those. They used her like where she's potentially like way more dangerous than she is on the surface because she can take other people's mutant abilities from her.
She wasn't like how she is in the comics. Like, she's very different in the comics. So similar powers, but just
pretty much every single character that you can think of. Like I know, like at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they teased Adam Warlock. I don't know if you know that character.
Yes.
Yeah, when I was a kid, like Adam Warlock was supposed to be in the Infinity Gauntlet story. Actually,
yeah,
he was supposed to be one of the people that could like defeat Thanos because he was like a perfect being or whatever, and he could wield the Infinity Gauntlet because of that.
Is Nova one of them?
I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to cut you off there. Nova from Marvel. He is one of them as well, isn't he?
He's one of what? What do you mean?
Nova,
he's one of those. I forget the people at the end of the.
Those are the Sovereign. You mean the Golden people? The Sovereign.
Yeah.
Nova's not one of those. No, he's in the Nova Corps.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's different.
Oh, he's his own. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The Sovereign are already supposed to be like genetically superior, but then like Adam Warlock is like their perfect creation.
Top.
I see.
Yeah. So like Hulk was the only character that could wield the Infinity Gauntlet other than Thanos in the original movie or the one in Endgame.
Endgame. Yep.
But yeah, I know Adam Warlock was supposed to wield it at some point.
Yeah, he would have been cool in that movie. Actually, now that I think about it.
Well, they teased him in the post-credits.
Right. Yeah, I think
Guardians 2, so that he might be maybe even the bad guy.
I think for 3, I think he's gonna be, or he's gonna definitely.
And he also, I think, has connections with like Hell and shit too. So I think we're going to Hell soon, guys.
Let's do it.
This all leads to hell. Doctor Doom, Mephisto, all these characters.
Mephisto. Yeah, I mean, there was a not a lot of people are talking about this because like I feel like Mephisto just been thrown around so much lately. In the Loki trailer, there was even like an idea that maybe that's Mephisto was in that trailer. In the there's one shot.
Think about Loki. Like Quicksilver could be Loki, for all you know.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Or even Hayward could be Loki. I mean,
that'd be funny.
Oh wow. Yeah.
But there's a one of the shots. There's a window, and it's like stained glass. It's like the stained glass kind of painting thing window on. They look like they're in a church, and there's like a devil, and it's got like exaggerated features, obviously, because it's like the devil. But a lot of people are like, oh, maybe that's a tease for Mephisto, and I think maybe he'll have if Mephisto is the villain of this, he'll have a larger role outside the show.
Yeah. Dale says, is that why Tony died? He wasn't powerful enough to wield the gauntlet? Yeah, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was, the suit gauntlet, the artificial gauntlet that they made was powerful enough to, like, sustain the stones themselves, but Snap, he couldn't handle,
Yeah, think about what happened.
Hulk almost died. Hulk, like, his arm, like, shriveled up.
Right. I mean, think about what happened in Guardians 1. Like, Peter had, obviously, like, his father's blood, so that's kind of how they all kind of survived that. Obviously, it took, like, was there 5 of them, or 5 or 6? 5 of them to hold one stone.
And that was just one.
So,
yeah. Dude, you tell me Carol Danvers couldn't have
done
about
to die.
I feel like she could have wielded the
gauntlet.
Did they ever address that? Maybe not.
No, I don't think she could. I don't know necessarily though.
I don't think so.
Because they make specific like exceptions to it, like where like Peter Quill can hold one Infinity Stone because he's half celestial or eternal or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So
which one is it? Is it a celestial? Yeah, celestial. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's half god.
Eternals. How about that movie? Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
I mean, I know Hulk's like super strong and stuff. It just is interesting that like he was able to at least somewhat. I mean, he didn't die when he had
that gamma.
Yeah.
That gamma.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It just goes to the extent of his strength. Like in the very first scene of Infinity War, where Hulk chokes out Loki, but like right before that, he's like, "We have a Hulk." Like, so he's implying that like Hulk is the only one that's even comes close to Thanos' strength. But Thanos has the Power Stone at that point, so nobody's stronger than Thanos. Yeah. Because even what's his name? Ronan the Accuser, right?
Yep.
He can wield the Power Stone.
Yeah, he had that in his hand.
For a short moment, he's the most powerful being in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He kind of betrays Thanos in that movie because he had the stone for Thanos, but then he's like, no, I'm gonna use it myself. So yeah.
There's Thor and the Guardians like that because Thor 4 is coming out, right?
Yep. Love and Thunder.
Yeah. And that's Thor and the Guardians are now like intertwined with each other, right?
Yeah.
So all of these characters, whether it's 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road, are gonna have to like in the same way we got the final fight in Endgame with all those characters meeting up and coming through all the portals. There's gonna have to be a whole the next level version of that.
So the next level version of that is Secret Wars. And that's I don't know if you guys really know what that is. So Secret Wars is literally so okay, I'm gonna try to explain this the best I can. So basically it's like little pockets of each universe mixing together into one world called Battle World. So you have a section from Earth whatever right next to a section from another Earth, and then another Earth. It's all these different versions, all these different characters. So and then obviously that's all multiverse stuff. So seems like the next logical like big event for the MCU going forward. I feel like so very cool because that story is insane. So I'm that seems like what's gonna happen, which is gonna be pretty crazy.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Do you think maybe we should wrap this up pretty soon?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm free to keep talking, but
I mean, I could talk
about an hour.
I could talk. Yeah.
Let's read these questions here. Eric said, Mephisto is everywhere according to these theories. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. Like,
He's very powerful.
He could be multiple people even. Yeah.
right. We got to consider everything when talking about Mephisto.
Because earlier, I don't know if you were here earlier in the stream, Eric, but we had said that Mephisto could be Ralph, Agnes's husband, who she's mentioned 100 times, but we've never seen.
Never seen him.
Yeah. So Mephisto literally could be any character at this point, and they haven't brought him in yet. So at this point, it is looking like Wanda might actually end up being like the main antagonist of her own story.
Mm-hmm.
There may not necessarily have to be a Mephisto yet, or a Doctor Doom or any of that stuff. It could just be her mind is her own enemy, in a way.
True. Yeah. That would be an interesting. Kind of reveal like it was all her. I just think since that's already been like a thing that's been said like early on is like it's all Wanda. I just think it's to throw us off.
Stephanie says, "How come the boy knew Vision was in trouble, but Wanda didn't?" Yeah, we had talked about this earlier in the stream. That I think I took that as meaning that Billy that's like foreshadowing him being even more OP than Wanda. Like he can see beyond her bubble, where she couldn't even see beyond her bubble. So he's got her powers and then some. That's how I read it. Like he's gonna end up being like the main, most powerful hero.
Yeah, I think Wanda was also distracted during that part because I think around that she was talking to Pietro, who maybe could be Mephisto, and what it may. Well, I don't know, but
yeah,
I think that has to do with it a little bit too. But yeah, no, Wiccan
Billy,
is.
They were kind of all
crazy.
in the same area though, in that like busy town square or whatever.
That's true.
Billy was like all of a sudden like.
He
sensed it out of nowhere. Yeah.
Unless someone really was blocking her, like I mean, I don't know. There was no representation of that going on. Like there was nothing that I picked up that was like, this is why she can't feel it. But that could be interesting too if someone didn't want her feeling him dying.
Yeah. No, I do think someone's definitely blocking Wanda, who I assume is Mephisto, but yeah. I think so.
All right. Well, you know what? Moving forward, we're probably just gonna wrap things up now.
Sure.
Dude, John, Dylan, thanks guys.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank you.
Everybody in the chat, everybody's still here. Go check out All New Nerds right now. John and Dylan have a great channel. They do all the same stuff we do here. They do Star Wars and MCU and pop culture stuff, and I'm glad we've established a repertoire with each other, and we can do some more of this hopefully moving forward and get some more channels on here. I've talked to a couple other YouTubers who are interested in joining our little. We have a little East Coast conglomerate here. So we're East Coast USA. These two dudes and I are up in the Boston area. That's all I'm going to say. And then I know we have a few other East Coasters who are interested in joining. So hopefully we can get some more chats going in the future and do this on
get a little team going.
It's obviously timing is obviously hard. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got so we may not have a weekly thing at first, but we're gonna try and bring some more content. And obviously, it took us one day to figure out our AV issues, and we ironed that out.
We got well, you got it. We didn't do you figured it out.
Yeah,
but
so we're all learning and we're moving forward, trying to bring you guys some more content. And fortunately, Disney Plus is giving us more than we can handle at the moment.
Yeah,
so we're
for sure.
I know. We basically you guys probably originated as mostly Star Wars fans, right? Starting your YouTube channel.
Mandalorian
This is Jedi.
Like,
that's how we started, but we're both fans of all that stuff.
We always had the plan of going Marvel.
I definitely always originally meant this to be Star Wars, but obviously Star Wars is only so much content at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. We're very dry.
I'm not interested in talking about the Gina Carano situation.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd rather talk about something. So we're just gonna keep talking about MCU stuff as it comes out. I think Bad Batch is supposed to come out some point this year. I was hoping it was gonna be March, but we haven't heard anything yet.
Right.
So
we'll probably get a trailer soon, or a date announcement.
We did get a trailer, but they haven't given us any information.
Yeah, no, I mean another one, and then a date announcement attached to that for sure. Yeah.
It just vaguely says 2021 now. It doesn't give us
right.
Exactly.
Maybe they're not done post production. Maybe it's.
I imagine June though. I imagine June.
That's what I'm thinking. May or June.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean. Hopefully we're going to get Bad Batch is supposedly the next thing we're getting, and we're definitely when that comes out we're going to do discussions on that.
Oh yeah,
and talk about that. But for now it looks like Wandavision and then Falcon and Winter Soldier is probably coming next, right?
Yep, that's up next.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and do we know how many episodes that is?
That's 6. Yep, 6.
Yeah,
6.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right, guys, go check out All New Nerds and make sure you subscribe to their channel, check out their content, and let them know you guys liked what they had to say today.
Yeah, if you're a Jedi Jive fan, I think you'll like what we got going on there.
Yes.
We're experimenting still. I mean, we do. If you're a reaction person, we got those for you. But we also do a lot of discussions. We have a podcast weekly, or we try to do it weekly.
Yeah, we do it weekly.
At 3. Those are a lot of fun if you want to tune into those. And we just got a bunch of different discussions about everything. Right now, it's been all Marvel because that's what we're diving deep into.
Big Marvel stuff right now. So yeah.
Obviously, like nothing's preventing us from randomly, like on the spur of the moment, hopping on and doing one of these. You know, we don't have anything specific planned at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, count on us maybe
something big
when we can all get together. Unfortunately,
sure.
I'm not much of a I'm glad I've been able to bring my sister onto my channel recently because she gives me somebody.
Have her come on. Have her come on.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna. I know I'm getting a lot
of people like her
just for her. So she hasn't even seen a Star War in 30 years, as she says. So I'm gonna have to brush her up. Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks, chat. Thanks for sticking around.
Thank you guys.
You were here yesterday's too, and John and Dylan. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
man. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye bye.
See you around.
See ya.